A very good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. A beautiful, 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 beautiful day. Amazing, 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 amazing. Things are really running crazy here, and that is what I want us to check right now. And what I've done, what I'm about to do here, those are things that we need to talk about right away, right away, right away, right away. So if you're joining this for the first time, ensure that you like, and also let's just engage on the chat as we wait for more people to join. I know I have decided to come this early more than normal. On this specifically, we're going to talk about the US oil, that is the WTI, and what has actually been happening. What am I doing here? Because this matters a lot. This matters a lot. This matters a lot. What I can see here. So, wow. So, ensure that you are here. Ensure that you are here. Let me open something here for you. Wow. Mm-hmm. Hey, 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 hey. Wow, 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 wow. You can't afford, you can't afford to miss this. We are live trending. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we are back now. Good morning, a very good morning to you, Caster Media. Good morning. How are you doing? Yes, we are here now. We are here. It is Monday, 9th of March 2026. It's really amazing on what is really happening right here. Especially, we are seeing the history. We are witnessing the history of how the market is really doing this. So, we are witnessing the history of the market doing and moving, and actually this is history, because if you look at the prices for oil prices where we are, it's actually been very long time since we achieved areas like this, and I will tell you what to do and what you have to do about this, because this is very important. If you look at the US, well, you realize on I really like daily time frame when it comes to checking on the positions for overbought and all those areas, you can see we are approximating around it's actually playing around 94. So this is very critical, because once these keep moving just like that, look at this is the area where I was waiting for this market at least to open at 94 after closing at 92 last week. But look at what the market just decided to open at. We actually created another gap. Remember, this is now the second gap the market has created this, and this is very critical. So this is a second gap that we have been created. Remember, also in the stock market we have some gap that has actually been created. So stock indices, that is Nasdaq. So a lot of things are really happening. So look at this. This is another important zone where the market is going to test this again. You can see it is a region that has been tested by the oil prices again. So we can actually generalize it even at this area, which is around from 123 all the way to 127. That is the zone that actually been tested by this market. What is happening with this level? If I push my RSI, I really like using RSI when we are on extreme levels just like this. But if you're going to use RSI on this, make sure that also there is another indicator known as, which is actually more precise, like GOND. It's known as RSI divergence indicator. That is actually even more better than the normal RSI that we really have here. So if you're going to be using RSI, make sure that at least you don't use 70 and 30. That is these were working around 2020, but nowadays you need to push it all the way to 85 and above. So in this case, I'm putting it to 90 and 10. So inside these two levels, that is where you can expect this market to at least have here. So when this market crosses over 90, just know we are in a parabolic market. A parabolic means that is where the market has moved extra, like we are now moving to an extra mile. The market is creating excess, like it is excess of what has actually happened into this market. So that is what you see happening in this market. Now, what am I going to do with this information? Right now, the only thing that is going to happen in this market is to do just one thing. You can just do one important thing here. That is to, you can actually decide you do what I've done here. I've just placed one position for buy and another one for sell. Why have I done this one? Because the war is really continuing. You can see the market has retraced back. So in case we're going to hit around 120 here, which is around located around this area here, we'll be in a very extreme levels. We'll be in a very bigger extreme levels where this market will actually be moving around 125. So in case we hit that one, and I'm approximating this market can actually hit even 100 and something, yeah. And when we hit that, at least our RSI will be pushed to at least 95. You see, 95, 96. So I think the market can't go beyond 96, like 97 there. That is beyond. You can see also when gold was rising, we actually touched around 97. So it's possible this market and these prices to even continue on the highest time frame to hit 97. But what I'm saying is that once we hit those levels, just know the market what is really going to be doing there. So if I'm going to buy from this market like the way I've done here, remember it just cost me like just $2 per yake, just $2, and then I can maximize on this perfect entry that I'm going to find into the market, like perfect entry that you can get with just $2. It's going to cost you $2. So this is what we are doing. I'm going to buy and sell at the same time here, but with a target of at least 128 on the daily time frame. I'm targeting once the RSI hit 196 level, then I'm going to sell the position that I bought from the market. Like I'm going to close it. So once I close the buy positions for the market, then I'm going to leave for a sell, and of course the market is really going to drop. even if it is going to drop to the original level, of course, I will have a lot of money from that. I don't know whether you understand that engine, where you buy and sell at the same time, but when you just wait for the market, because right now we don't know what can really happen anytime. Anything can just happen to this market. That's why you see I have two positions running here, and mine, it has costed me like let's say $60 here. I think it's because it was a sprint. You can see, look at that, look at this. But for me now to close these dollars, because once this is rising, this is falling, and actually it will just be just like that. So once this falls and one this moves up, so once I get like a market or dollar or WTI hitting around 120, it will be very amazing. And I'm targeting around 120. So you see, when we hit around 123, if the market is going to achieve 123, of course that is really going to be very big, and our SI is going to be hitting around 96. So 96 level is going to be another level that I'm going to sell the buy position, and then I get left with the only sell position. So once that happens, of course it's really going to be amazing. At least now we have a lot of money we're making, because now it will be like we are selling at the top. We'll be selling at the top. But the good thing that you could have done that on Friday. If you could have done all that on Friday, then I think today could have been very amazing, where you could have actually sold around 115, and then you can see now you could have made around $70 when you close all the positions, and that could have been very great. That is what happened. So over the weekend we got the US and Iran bombing the oil facilities for the Iran. And of course, you know, when they are doing that, of course, Iran and they're going to revenge on the same, where they cannot actually even, there is no oil that is going to pass through the Strait of Hormuz. So, of course, supply is coming down. Supply is going to come down. Or eventually, that is when we saw the market actually pricing all the way up. It's not only the oil prices that are going up on this case, but remember also that the US people are really suffering. Like, even this is going to affect us on how things are really moving. Just like this. Remember also the inflation are really on the go. So if you look at the DXY, there's a level on which is really going affected, because you can check and look at this. This is the area that we are talking about. Remember last week we talked about this level here, and you can see also, although the oil prices has been rising, this has been the problem. Like, the market don't want to move past this. So we might be getting somehow the market doing something this week. So now there's something here we need to check, which is very important. Look at this. This is what we call VIX. This is a fear index. So this is this is VIX. So if you look at the VIX right now, you see the fear is on extreme levels, like this one. Remember, anytime we are experiencing this, it is either there is a calamity or maybe there is a war that has broken out that is affecting the economy, and that's why you see now the VIX has risen in a very critical way. So unless we see the VIX at least coming down, like the way you can see it has pushed at least to reduce a little bit from the top here of 29.9 and moved at least all the way down at least to like some point here, some small points here, and I think that that is what has made also the prices of oil to drop a little bit. But what can you see from this is the market that is on extreme levels. I was not expecting this to move past this, but once you see it rising like that, of course you just know what has actually been happening. The last time we got is here. Of course, there are so many things that have moved VIX in the past, and we can also check that one. Number one was the war in the Ukraine and Russia. Number two was the coronavirus, and also the other one where they started war with Iran. The first, was this the first or the last attempt, right? That really happened. That is the one that caused all this market to move just like that. So if you are looking for anything, this is the most important thing to check on. And also you can move to the other side and you're going to see all this information. There is a very strong buy, and this is actually the index that you need to check on this market. Past volatility curve in the last 37 days, you can see from April 15, this is 26, the way to not from the April 26. These are the expectations that we really have here. But look at this technically you can see what we have here. Technically, when you actually even go to analyze this, you see the fear index is still on the extreme levels and the market is still up just like this. So do we have even the indicators, at least these ones? You can see we have all these indicators that you can actually even use on the market. It still suggests that the market is still up, the prices are really up, and this is very critical. You can see we have actually we should check on VIX on the market that is moving, not this one. So let's go back. I want to see the current price right now. Like I need to see the current price. I need to see the current price right now. This is very important actually. This is very important. This is very important more than anything else. This is important. This is important for 1.9. Let's see from the capital. Okay, okay, although they're just viewing it differently, this see. Also, the RSI for VIX is actually up above 70, so that's why you see the prices are actually been pricing down, and prices is trying to come all the way down. That is what is happening. The higher prices are back, and still back again for a sell that is happening. We should check that one. We should check that one. So the only problem that we might be having is when the prices start moving down, and there's something that has to happen this week. We must get a negotiation, because if I'm not an analyst, but I know these things when I check on what is really going to happen, and it's of course going to happen. This is important, because if next week, listen, if this is really going to continue, you can see how the prices of Forex have been behaving. We need a negotiation towards this. Either the Trump is going to surrender on this and declare that they have won the war, or this market is going to continue moving in another direction that you really don't like how the prices are really going to happen, because they are going to cause a lot of inflation. Like inflation is going to be crazy here. The one that we're just going to be getting here, the inflation are going to be crazy on this market. So my biggest target here on this market, let me target. I know we are getting different prices depending on the broker that you are using. Look at this level here, but when you look at this on the daily time frame, you're going to realize that still we are on the extreme levels. That is because the price came all the way from 60. The prices came from all the way from 60, from 66, and now you can look at what we really have. So the prices are very up right now. The prices are really very up now. So for this, you need to move to the lowest time frame so you can see how the gap is being filled. Do we have the gap filling? You need to check on different broker. What is this? What is this? Yeah, something like this. You can see now this drop that we have here. Technically, let's see this. So you can look at this gap that was created around this area here, and I think this is what the market is trying to fill. This one, this gap that we have here, although sometimes the market is going to violate a lot of rules when it comes to this. We can see we have already targeted uh, that is 61% of retracement. We have already touched that one of this. So let me just do something here. I need to do something. 1 minute. I need to see where we have the gap. This one is not showing the gap. This one is not showing the gap. What else? Let me check on this. Let me check on the black ball. Yeah, so this is the gap for the last week. So this is the past week where we got 67 all the way to 74. So that is the first week. And then after all this week, you can see this was actually the biggest. And I think that is because of bombing the oil facilities. That is one that caused all this big move that we see here. So that is the last week on what we didn't get from this market. So what is going to be happening on this market is, at least this is what I'm saying, that we need a negotiation towards this. Because if you look at whatever is just happening, the stocks are down. If you look at the US 30, it's also moved all the way down to these levels. And this is really crazy, because once these things start happening, of course, there's a lot of panic, a lot of things are really happening to the market. Look at this. Remember also this time the US 30 was actually trending around 5,500. So that is the highest that we really got from this market. So from 5,500 all the way to 556, 625. That is very low. That is very cheap. Like, the market is really down. The moment the time we get, normally this is when there is recession. That is when we get this market moving to the levels like this. But once we get to price just like this, then just know this is crazy. And for this market to do something just like this, then this is crazy. Now the market is really moving, and something has to be done with this, because if we keep dropping, if we even drop by just 500 just like this, there's going to be even more panic to the market, right? There's going to be even more panic that is going to be happening to this market. The next thing that we need to check here, after checking the index, so now it's actually been rising, is to check on the gold prices. I know some of you are very surprised on why is gold prices moving like this despite the war. And we talked about this in a very simple way, and I just told you one thing, that gold is not only trending because of so many people think that gold is trading because of it is gold. Gold is not trading just because it is a safe haven. Of course, just know the dollar prices actually been rising up as well, and that is why you see all that happening. Dollar is rising up and is suppressing the prices for the gold all the way down. Because if you look at this, the market has already failed to break this line here. Remember, we had drawn this some days. Look at this, only the sweep that actually been happening in this market, where the market swept all these. But look at this, market has actually been doing here. And that is how the prices of gold has actually been moving. Remember also, gold actually been moving up, and also expecting around 50-55 for these prices even to hit even higher prices. So there is likelihood for market to even continue on the upper side, where there is possibility now for even gold to hit higher prices, which is around 5,500 with days. But not because of safer event, is when this dollar actually will start at least gaining the strength, because if you look at the DXY right now, you realize that it has really failed. Like, we have really failed to break up. We are waiting to see at least these prices moving up in a very crazy way, strengthening because of interest rate that actually have to be put in place to prevent higher prices for the commodities and the oil prices that is causing the inflation. And that's why you see the gold prices, the dollar prices rising up. But in case of that, but you can see we are getting like a resistance here. We are getting the prices being rejected here, which means there's a likelihood for these prices to come here. And once these prices come here, they might actually push the prices of the dollar towards the upper side. That is what we are projecting, and that is what I'm projecting to get from this market. This being the gold prices that we really have here, and that is what can actually happen. And not only happening, but this is what you see now. Number one, this week is really going to be very critical, so make sure that anything that you trend, you be very careful, because anything we are going to see. So the worst statement that you're going to see on Twitter is where Trump declared a victory in the Iran. So if you are going to declare victory in Iran, of course, then it's going to be a temporary peace that is going to allow the prices and the supply of oil to be there, of course, which now it's going to cause number one, the prices for oil to start dropping, and it's really going to drop for many days. And let's hope that that is going to happen this week, because it's not only for us, but I think the people in the US are really suffering in reality. So we might be enjoying profit here, but there are some people who are suffering in the pocket to really buy these things right here. So what I said is gold is really going to experience moves that are not, like, you're not going to say the prices of gold is really going to experience upward move just like that. No, we are going to be getting the prices moving like this all the day until we get to other upper prices. So you're going to see the gold prices moving like this, right? So you see this. So this how you are going to be getting there. So you're not going to see the market that is on a sharp move, like moving in a straight line. So gold is going to take time. This is what you are getting. Let me highlight this so that you can be very careful on it. Look at this move. Yeah, we move down, get this, look at that. Expecting this, of course, and we get here. Of course, when you get these prices, there's possibility for this, and then you get to 55 here. So that is the likelihood for the gold. So in case you see these prices dropping to, okay, this is crazy. So let me check on this on forward time frame. Yeah, this is what we are talking about. Look at that, this big move that we are getting from the prices of gold here, moving exactly like this, price moving up like that, like this. Look at that, of course, expecting a small move here, creating another one here. Yeah, and expecting these prices, of course, it came back here and we got a rejection to 159.92, and then of course we are going to get another one around probably here. We get back again, and then that is when we're going to get another one here, and then the market moves like that. So you need to draw all these movements so that they become very important to you. So number one, I'm going to have one here, so I don't want these prices to move past this. This is good. So we are on the analysis now. We want to see where the market is moving. So we got another rejection here because of sell on that we got around that area here. Of course, you can expect this market to react around here. That is why we have drawn that one, because of this level here. We are going to see the volume that will be having those areas, so worry not. And of course, we are going to get another reaction towards this place. You're going to get another reaction towards those places. So those are the places that the gold is expecting to move. Now from this level, before we get to 5,400, I want to have market, let me have a volume signed here so that we can get what we have here. this is or under, so that you can see if it is proof that one. Yes, you can see it proves that one. You can see here we have bigger volume. That's why you see the market coming to this level and moving up. Again, when this market touches this area here, of course it has to move up, because you can see we have higher volume across this area here, which is the delta. We have many volumes here, so this suggests this area are possible. And you can see also we have another possible volume that is developing here, which is very important. But of course, the most important thing to check again is where the market might actually get stuck, and that is going to be, let me see where the prices can really stuck here. So across this area here, the market is going to be very fast towards this area here. You see where we have from 52.68 all the way to 54. That is going to be very fast. And of course, this is a buy. So this is what we call now D. So this is a D. It is not a D. Yes, that is a D, where we have this volume concentrated, and that's why you can see the market is actually around this area here. So once we see these prices touching this area here, which is around 51.83, we expect a breakout where the market can actually push the prices all the way to 54. That is what we might be getting from this market. So that is my expectation from this bigger market here. So that is my expectation from this bigger market here, that is going to be moving here. So that is the gold, and that is what we might be getting here, 51.83. Then this price pushes all the way up. Now I want us to know, where is this market going to move right away? Because you can see we have 51.100. Do we have an opportunity to buy right away? Let's now break this down to 1 hour time frame, because yeah, we can so let's see whether we can have a small opportunity here. The one, I don't go below 1 hour time frame. This is what we have. So if you look at this carefully, you realize that this is how the market is moving. So I know it's going to create a very dirty work. So this is how market moving. If I take this clone here, so of course I'm highlighting the structure. Now the market is moving. So this how, but you can see we are in the middle of the price. You see here, so this is a like middle of the price, like this is the center. This is the center of the price that the market has created. But you can see this upward this way and downwards, and creating lower prices. So I think the only price I can just do right now is to wait. Also you can just light different areas. The reason I'm saying this is the center of price, look at this price is reacting to that level. Okay, the other level the price reactant to is here. The other price the market is going to react is here. So around 50, around from 50, 61, and this level here 26 can actually be a very good opportunity for you now start buying, in case you don't want to miss this. We have seen the volume sign. The market is going to push, like we have so many orders that are being created in these areas here. There's something that you need to know. Can I go deeper? Can I go deeper? Can I go deeper? I can go deeper on this. So remember now this area that you have drawn here, I want to highlight here. So let me keep this simple. Now you have seen those areas. Number one, we have talked about buying from 50, 60 all the way to this area here, in case you are swing trader. So let's move to another scenario that there's something I want to check as well. I want to improve this. So to improve on this, I'm going to change my candles to footprint, so that we are going to see things in a different way. Yeah, like that. So this is the same candle that you can see, but when I zoom on this, we are going to see things different. So this is what I'm going to do. Once this market approaches this area here, I need to see how the market is behaving, how the market is going to behave around those areas. All right. How the market is going to behave around this area here, in case we get this level, which is located around 66 here for us now to buy, because you can see the current price is the mean drop the price. So you can look at the delta that we are getting here. So this is, so whatever is just happening here is the market that is suggesting for the sell. That's why you see we have negative delta here forming. Higher volume but negative delta. That means we have so many sellers around and pushing these prices. Although we can see this rising up, then you need to be very careful on this, because it seems the owners are really being let me see 6.3k. all right, no problem. So we need these prices to, when it drops to this area now, we'll be checking. Number one, we can check on the delta that is going to form with the candle that is going to be around this area here, unless this candle penetrates and moves all the way down. But of course, we'll be checking this. This is the most important thing that will help us to know that we are going to buy around this area here. So when this prices falls down to 50.66, make sure if you have a paint version for this, you check on the delta. Number one, check on the delta here, how much it has really formed. Is it negative 500, negative from let's say from negative 500 here, or maybe 1,000 is really going to be something positive? Is the delta is really going to change? Like for example, you can see here we have been getting the negatives and negatives. But this is different. Okay, I don't want to talk about this one, but at least when this delta comes to this area here, let observe on what is really going to happen. If you are going to get at least positive, you can see this 129 negative 30, this all is a sign for the market that is dropping. But if this market get to this area and we are going to get a small delta like negative 2, negative 20, negative 100, and of a sudden we get a positive delta, it is a sign now that industry would start accumulating their orders from this zone here of 60s. So that is what I am expecting from this market, to get, let's say, a sniper entry from the market in case we just get the prices moving to those areas, and it's really going to be very nice, right? So that is a gaunt. You can check on the volumes. So that is just one thing. Okay, that is just one thing to check on, just those areas. You can see this candle is big, so these are known as the volume candles. They are going to tell you like how much volume has entered into the market, whether it is big or small. If you look at this candle here, it is very fat compared to these ones, and this one tells you that a big sell is coming, like this one, and that's why it can push these prices all the way down to the levels that we have here before the prices pushes up. This sell here, that's why you can see this is very fat and this is very big here. So another one is to check, of course, the activity around that area here. So that is important. Look at where we have bigger volumes like this. The candle are very thick. Yeah, very thick. They're known as. So you can see this candle here is not really it's very thin, and that's why I suggest the volume is real. No, I don't think whether it's enough to push the prices up, but still suggesting that we just wait for the prices at least maybe to come to this level. It's really going to be amazing what we are really going to be getting around this area here. So in case the whole prices keep moving back, like they say 87, 86, then we can double buy and sell at the same time, so that when the prices keep moving up, we sell the buy and then we remain with the sell. Because if the prices are going to hit 97 or 96 in the moving in the RSI, of course the market is really going to move back in a very crazy way. So that is what you expect to get from this market in a very simple way. I have already checked on all things. We remember, I'm just going through this so that you'll be able now to know what to check on the market. Is very easy. Let me tell you one thing. Regardless of what you have, if there's something that you need to be worried about, I want to teach you something very simple here and make sure that you follow it. If you have good money, if you really have good money, and you want to be in an investment right now, you can actually buy US that. Just buy US that and hold. buy US30 and hold. This price is going to 4,000, and if you buy with the 0.1, it's going to generate around 60,000. And this is really, there's no way the US30 can drop past 46. Below 46, I don't think so. Even if it go to 45, of course, that will be very big. This is lower price that we've been expecting for the US30, and I think this is a perfect opportunity for us to buy from the US30. Don't miss these opportunities. Buy, don't even look for what is happening. This big and drop here for the US30 is really nice, considering that we buy US30 every time we see lower prices. The price for this keep moving every day. Every single day the price keep moving. So this is a very perfect opportunity for you to buy from this market. Look at this too. I have US30 that I bought, but at least the prices are really low, but I'm going to hold them for long. Look at this market. I introduced these blocks sometimes back, but you can see how they are above this, creating this. And the next we might be testing 47.66 around this area here. So the orders that have opened here, I'm going to close them down once they hit their prices around those areas. So that is my target towards the US30. But my account is bigger, so I'm going to be buying and buying once I see, but already bought. At least this is for investment. If I see higher prices, I'm going to continue even more, buy more. London session is about to open. Let's see how the prices are going to behave on this. This is very important. So on the London session, kindly be here, because I want to tell you something else. I want us to talk about another entry, so don't miss this. On the gold side, remember what we have discussed about 50, 60, and the hour prices. Don't forget about this. So the highest I need to Allow me to check on something here that is happening. So, oh, oh. 101, 174. All right. So, because we're getting this information all of us, so let me just search here so that we can get all of us. So, I don't know whether these are rumors or G7 to release our reserve. Okay. Okay. I don't know how true is this. This is 20. I think these are just rumors. These are just rumors. These are just rumors. These are just rumors. Let me check on the GPT. So I think the reason they're saying the price, I think there are a lot of speculations that are going to move on, considering how the market has really been moving. So many people are going to come with theories, at least to support buyers and sellers. Are going to find what is going to happen in the market, at least information that favors them. That is what, of course, that is what is going to happen. So, actually, I also have an AI. I have an AI that normally helps me to get this news that I created for me, just me. So this is going to, Jesus. So we need to get to this first information. Let me show you it. Let's see what it tells us. You need to stay on the good side. Carlos, how are you doing? Good morning. Let me check on my apps. I have this micro. So you need to check first on what is going to be here, because it's really the current information is going to be around here. So we're going to read it quickly. This is updating. So this is going to get from all the news feeds from Bloomberg, anywhere. It's different information. Then it's going to combine it with it here. Give me the link, and I'm going to update all of them right here, so I can just choose which ones to scan. I'm going to scan just once for the oil prices, just that ones only. Kondo Sanch as Middle East conflict escalate. G7 nation discuss joint release. This is what I was looking for. I got it. You see how this is very effective. Very effective. I just love it. I don't do that. Something has to be done. something has to be done into this market. Something has to be done, of course. Something has to be done. So I'm waiting for it to execute. Where is it? Jesus. I think I clicked it to execute, right? Executing. Let's see. Scanning market and yeah. So this is it. So we just, where is the source? Analysis. I actually just created it. So you can see this bullish sign, immediate verification ceasefire in the Middle East, leading to the guaranteed reopening of the Strait of Hormuz and assumption of normalized OPEC invalidation trigger. So this is invalid. But this is what you are getting. What happened? Fact, the G7 finance minister and the international energy NCCs are convening an emergency meeting today, March 9, 2026, to negotiate a massive coordinated release of 300 to 400 million barrels of crude oil from strategic petroleum reserve. This aggressive intervention, representing 25 to 30% of the EA 1.2 billion barrel emergency stockpile, is a direct response to the violent supply shock. Brent crude oil skyrocketed of 25%. Of course, that is true. What has actually happened in the past during this war that has actually been happening. That is what caused this price to happen, which is around 180 to 110. That is why the price opened when DXY surged 3 months high. Now this, why does this really matter? So we finish it here. Witness this book of sanction shock, a 25 single day spike in a Kundra act as regressive tax on the global consumer, or mechanically driving endline CPI prints higher. Central bank are now thrust into nightmare policy trilemma, pivot dovish to growth and risk anchoring inflation. So the most important thing is this. Of course, they have to come with something. Of course, there are two main things that are going to be affected. We have the Brent oil, that is a UK oil, and the WTI. I don't do some measures as to come. And apart from the G7, the Great 7 nations, actually they need, apart even from this, I think the also I think Trump and administrations have to do something as well, because releasing the reserve is another problem, because it's not really going to to sustain the market demand that has been happening there that is happening for long. So something has really to be done. But I think this is like to curb what is just happening just now, like just lower. And that's why you can see the prices is not like done, like we are not done with upward move. So this is news that we are receiving right now around 10 a.m. this, yeah, so I don't know the exact time, but at least now this is what has caused the prices, at least for the oil prices to start at least, moving slightly down, like where we can just see here. And that is what we have right there. So where is this move? Like, where is this market? After getting to this level, of course, this is 61% of Fibonacci. Of course, that area there, we might actually be, prices actually might rise up, but maybe we are not going to get a very big spike that the one we just got. But of course, towards the end of the week, we are going to get a solution for everything, and you need to be very careful on what you are buying and selling and to hold long time, because at one point you're going to see you're buying and the market is going to sell you're going to, like, when you're going to blink like this, you're going to see the market that is going to sell in a very, very fast time. So you need to be very careful on that. So that is what's happening here, and that's what we're waiting for. And that's why you see these prices behaving exactly like that. So we need to cap. Something has to be done with that. That is why we are waiting to see. So that is the higher prices. Keep watch on that. Keep watch on that. That is important. That is really important to check on. So the volatility that we've been getting, they actually be controlled. Like we are going to get a control for that. It's not really going to be very fast. Compared that we are on the extreme levels, the market might not push further. So might not be getting the fuel to push these prices higher than that. So be very keen on what is happening to that market on the higher prices. Remember what you have said about the gold to hit around these levels here. So keep watch on that as well. I'm not going to repeat the analysis again. Keep watch on those areas that we have talked about. So 65. If you have a paint version, make sure that you check on the volume, what will be happening in those areas. The silver is down, but I think the silver is not reacting so much to the news, has not reacted that much. But gold has really reacted a little bit, and we said that is because of safe haven thing. People might buy gold, and others might dollar be moving up because of different. Actually, it's not that the dollar is on the safe haven side. It's because dollar can act differently. Like dollar can act as safe haven, and also dollar can actually act as safe haven. And yeah, so also that is why we are getting everything moving just like that. So this is gold, and you can see the reason I was talking about these negative dots here. That is a negative energy that we are getting from the market. That is what is pushing this market downside. That is what is pushing this market towards downside. That is what we are getting here. So I think anytime we might be getting a solution. Allow me to do something here. Yeah, so that is what you are getting here. You can see all this negative volume that we are getting here. You can see the positive one that you get around 161 here, delta, pushed at least this market on the upper side. At least we need to see this volume coming down, and you can see the assertion. So at least when we hit around 50, this level here of 60s, 66 around this level here, at least that will be amazing. So what else you can see at these levels here is the bigger volume that has been trending here. When you look at these thousands that we really have here, like 4K, these black zones that we have, these ones 7K, these black areas, but mostly we can see also this area matters a lot. Specifically these ones, so around 92, that's where you can see the market moving down and the prices trying to move up as well. So That's great. That's great. So we are still checking on the market on what is happening. Wow. So wow. Yes, this is nice. This is nice. So that is G7. Allow me to and we turned. Uh-huh. Okay. I'm not okay. Let me. I want it to be the way I want it to be. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Recent left on to be right. Okay. Uh, 5 point left. All right. All right. All right. I want to do it. Okay. 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 Mm-hmm. I got what I wanted there. So you can see we have the gold signed. The price is really around this area, and it seems that the market is really failing to move past this. Yeah. So we might actually be getting. So all signs just look at this trend. So all signs just tells us that we need to get to this level. So number one, we saying around 50, 60. That is area one. and another area is 50.33. So make sure that around this corner here, which is not 53, actually around 25. So this two zone is the one that market needs more. So these are going to be important. In this market may push all the way this way. So when this market comes to this area, of course we're going to continue considering on this. My big target tonight is WTI and the UK oil. That is my biggest concern. I'm really concerned with this. I'm really concerned with what is happening here. And sometimes I don't want to use any broker here because I know it's going to give me different information, different volumes. So let's use FP. So you see now we got this has actually been nice. The information that we got here. I don't know when this meeting is going to take place for the G7. I don't know what is going to take place, when, at what time. And yeah, so maybe I can just one day gain in. So look at this information also from CNBC. How is Sanja above 110 barrel marks the largest one day gain in almost 40 years. So this is the history that you are witnessing, and this is what we call experience. When the market touches this area, so when you see things like this, put them on your notebook and ensure that you know, well, you enter into the details. You actually know what might happen, what might be triggered when that happens, because this is not the first thing this is going to happen. A lot of things are really going to happen, and you can see it is high impact. Horace Sanjaba 110 marks the largest. So 40 years matters a lot. So if you've been trending 1920 there in the 2005, you must have a lot of experience, not only from experience of where you get, for example, in the midst of all like this, but also by reading history and books, you get to be in a position to know what is happening to the market and what happened, like these ones. So you see this information here. G7 countries discuss joint release of petroleum have to have Sanjay oil prices. This at least going to make the prices of oil to move down. Asian equities market of 5% risk of sell-off driven by geopolitical uncertainties. There's two ones here. There's what we call risk off and risk on. Those are two ones that you need to understand, right? As a trender. China Consumer Price Index, of course, we saw that I think this morning. Saudi Aramco offers 4.6 billion barrel on spot market on Strait of Hormuz closure. The youth follows. So you can see all this is really important. Those are the news that you really need, because you can see the source is Bloomberg. So this is really important. So if you are trading well, don't just trade like that, because you might wake up and see, or maybe you open your position right now. Let's say I have bought gold at the whole prices right now. By just going to the washroom, you come back and then you realize the oil prices you bought at 115, their prices is trading at $74. You have lost everything. With $1,000, with 0.01, you have lost everything. You need to be very careful on that to know what the market is really doing. You can see the prices are really back again. I need to be very careful on this. I was waiting to see if you can get higher prices, and I said the market is really going to struggle to move up. And remember, there is a gap need to be filled here. You remember what happened? You remember what happened? The last gap, let's see. So this last week gap, this is what happened to market before it resumed. The market closed here, but the market opened here. The market started moving down. That is all the way almost to fill this gap to the top here, before we now resumed to move up, but not to move to 67. At least the prices didn't this area here, which is this zone that we have. At least the market trended here. So after 67, we went all the way to back to 69, and the 69 that we got, the market went up again, at least after opening from the top here. Of course, 74 market went back at least to close the bigger gap that was created. Same way, you can see from this market, maybe when we achieve 97 level, which is around this area here, but there's something that you need to know. Prices for oil cannot stay up for a long time. Like, we cannot really stay long for on a hyper move. We cannot really stay up for a very long time, because something has to be done. This is really going to have this is a wound issue, not just one country. So something that is affecting the whole world, as something has to be done, right? If you look at the prices, the market is really volatile right now. The prices are moving in a very crazy way. So those are things to take note on how the market is moving on. So we keep watch on those pairs that are highlighted right there. That is what I'm going to watch on. The gold prices, make sure that you watch it, although it is at 1 to 51.06. When these prices come to this level, take care on that. But a lot of things are going to happen to oil prices, so I'm not going to promise any movement, like any promise to once this one, because anything can happen to the oil prices. You might be seeing the prices moving up in a very crazy way, and then the other day you're going to see the drop that can happen to this market. So the only thing that you can do here is to just take care on what can really happen to the market and adjust your positions right, because I know even if I just try to get prices full data on the volume side, is going to give me different information. It's going to give me different information. You can see the a lot of, so anytime you see the prices crossing the gap, you're going to see the market becoming very volatile towards those areas, because less activities took place to those areas. Less activities. So what we are getting here is sales volume, but we have so many people bought from this. So I'm actually feeling for people who bought at the top. Like, if you bought at the top here, then Jesus, if you bought from this area here, I really pity you so much. But the problem that we have right now is the volume that is reducing. But I don't want to use this FP broker. I'm looking for a broker with good orders. That is 1.67. Let's see how much we're going to get from this. This is less. WT high. Which one can I use? NSC. Don't want this one. FP. Why can't I? Why don't I get? IC market. Why is IC? I need to get IC. Commodity CFD. I don't want black ball. Come on. Yeah, but you can see we have sell orders, like people are selling towards this area here. That is what you are getting. So yeah, yes, so that is what you are getting from this market. I'm still going to keep it like that. So more news will be coming up, so make sure that you're tuned at least to a TV, and not just a TV, just open and see when the news breaks down. Check on your market so well, because anything can just happen anytime things can happen. Let's see. So anytime you see so many people viewers on the blue bag, let's say 10k, just know of course there's something happening. Let's breaking news here. Let me see, what is it? All sectors built on energy. open lower. All right, DAX. Of course, that is because of the effect of oil. So I'll see you again around sometimes after this. So let's see how the market is going to react on this. But keep watch on the prices after you have analyzed here the gold, the higher prices, and also the D. You can see the last Don Johnson, that is US 30, closed at 47,487. That is today by opening with 1,000 point down, 1,000 point down. So that has been really crazy. So maybe I'll be coming back live at London session. That is the New York session. I'll be here on the New York session so that we can see what we can just do from this market. Thank you so much for those who have joined this. I'll see you on New York session that will be starting around 5 p.m. Before then, or when you will see anything breaking news, I'm going to come live here. Follow me on TikTok because that is the easiest way, probably maybe, to upload this. I'll see you again later. Make sure to subscribe, turn on notification bell. You'll be notified anytime we are live. That is going to help a lot. I'll see you